What's up, party people, and welcome back to another episode of Dance Specific Talks. I'm your host, T-zer, and today I'm doing this interview alone, and I have a very special guest all the way from the USA. Welcome, Jay Larious. Ba, 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 ba. How are you feeling today, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Excited to do this. Excited to share. So, how are you feeling?
I am feeling great. We have spring coming around here in Amsterdam, so finally we can like look each other in the eyes and kind of share another vibe and not just bike past each other in the cold. So I am super excited. I love this part of the year. It just feels like all the energy is kind of blossoming. And I know that you have so much projects that you're doing. How are you kind of staying grounded, staying recharged, and having enough energy for everything you're doing right now?
That's a great question. Well, spring definitely helps because as a Jamaican, I'm allergic to the cold. So, it being spring certainly gives me a little bit more energy. But no, it's when you're doing something that you really love, it doesn't feel like work, and you don't realize that you're drained until the end of the day when you're like, "Wow, I've been doing this since 4 a.m. How do I stay recharged?" It's one, I love what I'm doing, and two, I think I'm surrounded by a lot of love and a lot of people who support what I'm doing, and it's so energizing, one, to have a team that is supportive, but then two, when I think about the projects and I think about the impact it has on people, there isn't a day that goes by where somebody doesn't write me and share the positive impact that something from these projects is having in their lives. And for me, that is the ultimate benefit to all of this, and it definitely recharges me. And yeah, that's a good question. I don't know how I stay recharged. I need a break, but and I don't do this alone. Like for me, everything that I do, I try to be as collaborative as possible, share ideas, get ideas, and so really for me, that helps as well.
Yeah, and you have done a whole journey going from, being born and raised in Jamaica, moving to the States, and a lot of people know you as the DJ, but now you're also an organizer. And I kind of just want people to get to know just a little bit about how you get into this. I mean, music and dancing is a part of Jamaican culture, but now you're in couple dancing. How did this happen? When did this kind of step into your life?
Accidentally would be the short answer. Yeah, no, I grew up in Jamaica, and it's pretty interesting because you just grew up dancing. Like I never understood counts. Like, how do you count from 1 to 8 in a dance? No, you just listen to the music and dance. And so, for me, that was it. But I've always been a lover of music. Growing up, my dad had his 45, his vinyl, and it was always music in the house. I've been writing since I was 6 years old, so that is not new. When I was about 18, I started putting on events in Jamaica, and events that had 2,000 people. So then moved here and really just accidentally found Kizomba. Like I was in Germany actually, and just ran into this dance, and I was very curious about what it was. Realized it was also offered in my city. Decided to learn. Pretty soon thereafter, I was like, okay, what else can I do, and how can I be even more involved? And so the DJing thing started with the only intent of DJing in my city, in the parks, and all of that stuff. And then, like that just grew. And so, I've had the opportunity, fortunately, to DJ in different parts of the world. And for me, I still don't see DJing as a career. It is still a passion. Um, and then, from going to events and DJing, I wanted to put my spin on and go back to my roots of organizing and create something a little bit different. Because after going to many events, I saw that a lot of them were just very similar, and it became very routine for me. So I wanted to do something that, in my opinion, was a little bit different. And so the organization piece in Kizomba starts, which is very difficult. And this started also because of the pandemic, where people were closed away and locked away. And I felt like people needed something. They needed an experience. They needed to reconnect. And so I started to do this with the intent of one and done. And now here we are 4 years later.
Yeah, it's
And oh,
funny
the other part
how,
that
yeah.
people, yeah, just a quick point. You say some people know me as a DJ. Some people actually don't know me as a DJ. They know me as the organizer. And then some people don't know me as either. They know me as the guy who wrote the song Anita, or who has some other songs out there. And so it's really interesting when I meet people, which side of me they know, which that's okay too. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that it our passion sometimes makes us have these different hats and it makes us hone into all of our skill set. Like we are project managers and we are marketing and we are all these things suddenly because we are so passionate about creating more meaningful moments for people. And when I first heard about your event, yeah, it's easy to just fall into like it looks like another kind of holiday, maybe by the beach type of Kizomba event. But in your opinion, what was it that you wanted to make so different from other festivals?
Yeah, it was Maya Angelou who said, people will forget what you did, what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And I certainly believe that the backbone of this event is really to have people leave with a feeling, to have an experience, right? To feel like they have forgotten about everything else in their life, like any other problems they had, and really go on a vacation and not have to sacrifice dance and go to dance and not have to sacrifice vacation. I feel like when people leave the event, they leave with a sense of euphoria. What makes it a little bit different is, one, it's definitely an all-inclusive event. And when I say that, it's not, I don't mean full board. I mean, you're typically at a resort, you're literally at a resort. It's all inclusive, all you can eat, all you can drink. You're on the beach in the Caribbean. It's hard to beat that. That's heaven on earth. And that's a plug for my new track, right? And then, I do believe for the size of my event, I have one of the best lineups in the world. And I have people and artists who own it and bring a vibe that's unparalleled. The people who come to my event, most of them come back. And for this reason, it's really an event with care. And, we build it on continuous improvement. We ask for feedback, we do focus groups, and we try to get better every year. And so for me, I take some of the principles that I've learned in corporate America / corporate Jamaica, like working around the world in corporate environments, to how I do this. And really, it's the clientele that's at the forefront of how this vision is realized. And I think that creates some experience is an operative word that really creates some differentiation and some uniqueness about the event. And we try to tie that all together.
Hmm. And you started in Mexico because it was one of the places that were open.
Mhm.
How different is it now to organize something in your home country, in Jamaica?
Yeah, wow. Let me just say, I started in Mexico because yes, it was open, and two, I wanted a place where like my friends in Europe, my friends everywhere in the world could come, and it's certainly an internationally an international event in terms of the attendee profile. But the intent was always Jamaica. That is my home country, and what is the difference? I don't know how to explain it, but it's emotional for me to talk about taking something like this back to the country where I grew up. It's I don't know how it's like eating at the restaurant and then with your friends or inviting them to your home for a home cooked meal. Like I don't know how best to use the analogy, but it's not even comparable for me. And I will say the Kizomba Experience Jamaica will be special. I have a special program planned. I will pull out all the stops because this has got to be the best edition ever, right? And how it's going to be different, I can't tell all the answers now, but I know how it feels different for me. Um, you can sense my excitement. In fact, funny story, we plan these things 18 months in advance, right? Because you have to do hotel negotiations, especially with my event, like we go to different locations, brand new relationships. It's not cookie cutter. Um, so I was planning Punta Cana in parallel with Jamaica. And my team had to check me. They said, how do you sound more excited about Jamaica than Punta Cana? You realize we have to do Punta Cana first, right? And that hopefully illustrates for me how it might feel a little bit different or a lot different. I'm going back to my roots and bringing something special there. And the other thing I would say is, and maybe this will come up a little bit later, but one of the special things about this event in Jamaica is there's a charity component to what we're doing here, which I have a nephew who's autistic. And so I have a soft spot in my heart around autistic kids who don't have easy access to education in Jamaica. So we're doing a small charity through the platform of the Kizomba Experience to hopefully make a small difference in that space. For me, giving that back to my country,
Mm.
I don't know how to put it, but it's emotional, it's special, it's magic, and I can't wait.
Hmm. Yeah, and I know we had a long conversation about this event, and I feel very passionate about it as well. I have been fortunate enough to be 3 times to Jamaica myself. It has such a big place in my heart. It's the country that, to the size, is so small, but to the impact of the world is enormous. And I don't
Mhm.
know what's with the energy in Jamaica, but it is special. And the way people live and breathe music and culture is something I haven't experienced anywhere else. I have only seen it from the dancehall scene, and I never in a million years thought that my worlds of Kizomba and dancehall were gonna collide. For me, this is a match made in heaven, and I 100% believe that more people who maybe haven't felt the confidence to go to Jamaica for different reasons. Maybe you don't feel that you, yeah, I don't know. I think that Americans have a picture of Jamaica that is very resort based, and I think that the rest of the world has a picture of Jamaica which is, the poor areas, the unsafer areas of Kingston, and maybe how the distrust between government and the people have always been a common factor since forever, right? And I just feel like you are taking that step of helping people to come to this country, to see it for themselves, to see the love, to see the iriness of this.
Mhm.
You are definitely calling this the Irie edition. What made you pick this word, and what does it mean for you? What do people need to know that have never listened to reggae music or heard the word Irie?
Yeah, so I'll start at the end and then I'll go back to something that you said. Irie comes from, I talked about how I want people to feel. And Irie is a Jamaican slang for a feeling of dopeness, happiness, chillness, ease, right? So in Jamaica, you say everything Irie means everything is good. I feel Irie, I feel good, like I feel dope, I feel happy. It's all the positive sentiments that you can pack in that one little word. So it's the Irie edition. And in our marketing, I'm going to focus a lot on how I want you to feel. And I'm going to focus a lot on how I want you to imagine yourself feeling, right? And forget about everything else. Just feel good, right? Just feel good. And Bob Marley sings a lot about that. And there's a song that says, I feel good, wrapped up in your arms, dancing to a reggae song. Feel good, feel good. So I just want people to feel good when they're there. I talked about a lot packed in that little word, and you talked about a lot packed in that little country. We have a saying in Jamaica, we're little, but we talawa. And what that means is we're small, but we're big, right? We
Mm.
have big energy, big vibes. Bob Marley, Usain Bolt. Let's talk about Cranium. Let's talk about Vibes Cartel. Let's talk about Merlin Ati. Let's talk about like so many folks like who have Jamaican roots, big and small. Colin Powell. I could continue on and on. And Jamaica is just this country in the Caribbean that has produced so much. Talk about why we're so happy. Man, we're a poor country, but it's a vibe, man.
Mm.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe of community. It's a vibe of partying. It's a vibe of music. And sometimes we don't even realize how poor we are. And for the people who are scared of coming to Jamaica, here's my guarantee to you, you'll be back.
Yeah,
You'll be
that's
back.
true. I
Like
have
you
all
will
the
be back.
people that have gone to Jamaica have gone back. Everyone that I
Yeah,
know have just kept on coming back. And
yeah.
I think that this is also, the resilience of the people that you are seeing. We come to learn, like as Europeans, there's been so many people that are coming to learn about this country, about the culture, about the steps, how you move, how you groove to the music. There's an overflow of talent, and it's I believe it's the resilience of the people, with the history that it has, and that it's still continuing to have. So yeah, I'm just super stoked, super excited for you to do this. And when it comes to the experience itself, I feel like you're an
Hmm.
organizer that are very particular with your choices of artists, and I have
Yes.
experienced it firsthand now. So what is the most important thing for you as an organizer that you want to give to your participants more than the feeling when you pick these DJs and the artists to be in your event? You're doing that with the participants in mind. How do you make your
Hmm.
selection? What are you basing it off?
Yeah, so I'll start by saying there's so many incredible artists out there. So the job of an organizer is tough because there's so many people I want to bring on the team. And if I had unlimited funds, I would absolutely do it. So to all the artists who are not on the team, just know that a lot of respect from me. And this is not an indictment on them as people or their talent. I wish, but nobody wants to leave the team usually, right? So there's a little space. But to answer your question, for me, it starts with who they are as people and my relationship with them. Do we have a shared vision? Do we believe that we're doing this for the attendees? And are they bought into how I want them, the attendees, to feel? I'll also say my artists are also attendees. So I am very vested in how my artists feel. Like I want everybody to feel good. If my artists feel great, guess what? They're going to multiply that feeling. They're going to transmit that feeling to the attendees. So it's en total in terms of this feeling, this vibe that we want to have, this vibe of Irie, right? So I choose first on do we have shared values in terms of the vision? I then choose based on talent, right? I know most, if not all, of the lineup, or I do my research and when selected. And it's very important for me that I think about their individual talent, but also how that talent fits in the whole ecosystem of artists, how those personalities play together in an egoless manner. So we can be a team and not just a collection of individuals. That's really important for me. I also choose people who are vested in helping me grow this thing, right? If an artist believes that it is they show up, they do their thing, and they disappear, then that's probably not the best fit. I can respect it, but it's not the best fit. I also choose artists who want to interact with attendees. Like the attendees are who make us as artists relevant. And so artists who want to, without force, interact with attendees and be a part of this whole experience with attendees are the artists that go to the top of my list. And so, yeah, for me, it's also a vibe and a feeling. When I talk to artists, I have to also kind of get along with them, and our chemistry has to work because I don't micromanage artists. Like I consider my artists to be the CEOs of their portfolio. So when they're at my event, I'm not a micromanager. I sit back and I let great people do what great people do together, and it's magic, right? So it's not it's 100% art and 100% science, if that math works, right? So that's how I choose, and like I said, where I started, there's so many incredible artists out there. Like sometimes I feel so bad because I just want to choose so many more people, and I just can't either for budget or just it doesn't make practical sense, right? But so maybe I'll do like 100 of these, and then like I can work with all the incredible artists, but that's how I choose. And yeah, I think my artists are generally happy and excited about the event, and we continue to try to improve that also.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I definitely feel that. And when I've asked around, I do also hear that artist feels very taken care of. So I'll give you your flowers already now for that. And that's not always the feedback, and there's a lot of artists that goes around the world and have different experiences. So to have a memorable experience, like the Kizomba experience, it is it's a big thing. It changes the game and it pushes other organizers to do more for their participants and for their people,
Yeah.
essentially.
And I'll say this, by no means am I perfect. So, like I said, like for me, we certainly try our best, but I will tell you one of the things I do with my artists is an exit interview. And one of the questions I ask them is, how can I be a better organizer for you? Because absolutely 100%. If I've gotten it 100% right, then I've done something wrong. And so my goal is simple. It's not about putting myself on a pedestal as an organizer, but as an artist myself, I would always endeavor to be a little bit better year over year and make sure that my artists feel like they understand my value for them because they're incredibly valuable. So yeah.
Mhm. And I also think that a lot of people don't understand how much hard work that goes into organizing. We only see, the postcards. We only see the after movies when everything has gone well. So, what would you say is the biggest misunderstanding or the biggest thing that people out there don't know about the life of an organizer?
Oh, it's not just organizer. Everybody's a DJ until they DJ. Everybody's a beat maker until they beat make. Everybody is an organizer until they organize. But specifically to organizing, um, you know, yes, is what you said. It's a lot of work. It's a whole project. It's a whole program. Case in point, I get up at 5 a.m. We plan this thing 16 months and 18 months in advance, right? I am up at 5 a.m. now, putting together stuff like a marketing strategy, a brand strategy, like a rollout plan. And it may be a little bit different because my event is only 4 years old. But for me, these are important elements and components of putting together something that is detail oriented, that creates the right experience. And there are very few loopholes, if any. So people misunderstand that. And, sometimes people, or me, people, and look, they reserve the right to expect it all. But, some people will come and they will, just have some mean comments. And of course, as the organizer, you take it with grace, but they have no idea the other 999 things that had to happen. And it's okay. Like then you just learn from it. But one of the most difficult things is we're in a global environment, and communication is both ways. And sometimes you try your best to communicate in a particular way, but people receive communication so differently. You don't have unlimited funds, so really getting the information out there, and sometimes without feedback, it's really difficult because you don't know if it's reaching the intended audience in the way you wanted to reach them or not, right? So it's really a learning experience. I will tell you that I lean on other organizers. I reach out to other organizers and I get feedback and I ask their opinion on stuff and I will take it under advisement. So it's really a community. Like there's no th- th- look. I can't do this alone, nor can I do this without advice from others because it is very very difficult. And I challenge anybody who thinks all organizers are bad to go organize an event. Like it's not easy. And the challenge with my event, and color me crazy, right? It's difficult to organize an event in your own city. I'm organizing an event in a different country, different currency, sometimes different language, foreign exchange risk, different laws, different
Mm.
relationships every year. Like, color me stupid, but that challenge is something that drives my energy to your first question you asked, right? It's not cookie cutter, but it's incredibly challenging. But you know what? I chose to do this. So I'm not complaining. What I will say is I've grown tremendously as a result of this experience. I continue to grow, and the people close to me will say, "Take a break. You're getting stressed," and I agree with them. But then I lean on an incredible team around me and the incredible support system that I have. And so we'll see. We'll see how much longer I'll do it. But it's not easy.
No, so baby, people better sign up now because you are never guaranteed, that this will go on
Yeah.
forever and ever. It's
Yeah.
it's it's an exclusive experience and
Mhm.
it takes a lot of planning to also make it special. And I just kind of want to circle back to that we're going to Jamaica. So let's just when you're picturing this festival, what are some things that is going to be infused in this festival? I know you can't give enough details, but just a little taster. Like, Is there some flavors they're gonna taste? Are there some certain, infusion of music from Jamaica that we're going to hear?
Yeah,
What is so if you want to paint a picture of of how we're going to be there at this beach together,
yeah,
how it's gonna
for
be?
sure. For sure. Let's start about the ingredients and the flavor. Like it will be flavored with love, of course, but with some Jamaican love. For me, this is, I don't get to bring this to Jamaica, not, for example, have a dancehall class or two. I don't get to bring this to Jamaica, not really do an immersion into the culture. So that's it. That's the flavor, and that's the seasoning, that's the marination that you're gonna have across the whole experience. That's gonna make you feel airy. But I want to break this experience down into really two parts. There's the dance experience part of it, which is like the first 4 days. And then there's what I call a cultural immersion through excursion, the last 3.5 days, right? So the first 3.5, last 3.5. And really, the first few days, we want to focus in on the instruction, the dance, and the things that you've come to grow and love. I think we have one of the best boat parties in the world in Kizomba. I think the beach party last year, Daniel Beach, shout out, Farentini, shout out. That the dopeness factor was off the charts. It was a movie, right? The boat party, it was just magic, right? Expect that and more. But then also expect after really cool things. It's an optional excursion experience, but really I want to take people into the history of Jamaica. One of the things I want to do, and of course subject to change with negotiating, is the great story of Annie Palmer, the White Witch of Rose Hall. If you go to Jamaica and you haven't been to Duns River Falls, you have to. That's a must do. If you're not, I know if you're a vegetarian, this may gross you out, but if you're not getting some jerk chicken, some jerk pork, some jerk fish, right? Then you know what? Let's talk. If you're vegetarian, that's okay. We have the kalaloo and the ackee. And so like the Jamaican food is such a big part of who we are and our colorful culture. We're gonna immerse in that as well. Immerse in the sites, immerse in the history, and then this whole dance experience. So yes, it will be flavored. I can't give you all the details, but you can mark my words. It will be something special and something that you haven't seen anywhere else. Because how could you? Right? How could you
Mm.
have seen it anywhere else? Like this will be one of the first of a kind in Jamaica, and it will be airy and dope.
Oh, I love that. And the place itself that the festival is gonna take place, it's a
Yeah,
resort. It's a
yeah. So yeah, so one of the
all-inclusive.
things,
Yeah.
yeah. Let me tell you about Iberia Star. Like you Google it. Like Iberia Star Waves is one of the top hotels in Jamaica, and I don't want to call it a hotel. It's a resort. Right? It's amazing. It's a 5-star resort. We have different classes of rooms, but there's no bad rooms, right? It is. I'm a little bit bougie. I don't really like bad hotels, but this is, you will feel like you're on vacation versus camping, like in the
Yeah.
woods. Like this is actually a resort. The gastronomy, the food at this resort is amazing. That's one thing that I am committed to this year, irrespective of your culinary preferences. Like I love my Jamaican food, and I'm gonna make sure that you love my Jamaican food too by the time you leave.
Yes.
The beach at the resort, the pool at the resort, just the ambiance in the resort, you will feel like you're on vacation. And you're gonna walk, you're gonna ask yourself, wait, I know you keep calling it a festival. Oh, it's not a festival, it's not a weekend, it's an experience. You're gonna be at this experience, you're like, but wait, I have this dance experience and I'm on vacation. And like if you've never been, it's hard for you to fathom what I'm saying right now, but trust me on it. The resort is though.
Hmm. And when we're talking dates, you're mentioning that the festival is a particular sets of dates, and then you can add on
Yep.
the culture experience. What dates are we talking about?
Yeah. So January 22nd to 29th next year is the total experience. So the 22nd to the 26th is that first 3.5, 4 days that I'm talking about. And then the 26th to the 29th are the last 3.5 days that I'm talking about.
Mm.
So 22nd to 29th. And this is all on the page at the Kizomba Experience, either on Instagram or on Facebook. And we try to be as detailed as possible. So pardon the details, but we wanted to get all the information. And please follow the page because we will have updated information. The other cool thing about the event, and maybe 2% of the people say it's not too cool. We have an app. We have an app. Sorry, a
Ooh.
Kizomba Experience app. And the reason for this app, which we get rave reviews on the app, is you have information at your fingertips. You don't have to go during the event to go search Facebook. We're doing push notifications. There's really an event management app for our event where you know where classes are. You can give immediate feedback. Like it's pretty organized.
Mm,
So in the spirit of
it's really
communication, I just wanted to
nice.
put that plug in there. And shout out to Janae Benjamin, who's a mastermind. She's gonna be mad at me for shouting her out. She's the technical brains on our team that does the app.
That's amazing. I actually never heard of that because it's so annoying when you want to try to find a workshop schedule and you have to go through and then what was the dress code and then where's the DJ schedule and the shuttle buses and like it's just you need to print screen and then there's changes. Yeah, so this is a really good
We
idea.
don't do that.
Nice. Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't do that. You
You're
take
on
out your
holiday.
phone
You
and
don't
yeah,
wanna
I want to make it easy for you. Now, if you don't sign into the app, you're going to be mad at me because you're going to search Facebook and it's not there.
Mm,
So I send people to the app, but no, we've gotten rave reviews. But that's another way that we just want you to be easy for you,
mm,
right? You show up, and I tell people, just don't miss your flight, and you're good. If you don't miss your flight, you show up to the airport. There's somebody with a logo of the event. If you take the transfer, they lead you to the bus. You get a drink in the bus. You show up to the resort. You get a welcome drink, and you're on vacation. And
mm.
then we let you know when you should beat the bus to go back. So don't miss your flight to the event, and everything's
Amazing. And the event will be in Montego Bay. Can you talk for the
yes,
people who has never been there? I've been there one time for a festival called Reggae Fest, and it was,
yeah.
I think that I have a very crazy experience of Montego Bay. I haven't seen much of the beach. I was just there for music, and I
Mm,
had the chance to see like Maca Diamond, RDX, Idonia, and yeah,
mm,
Tommy Sparta. Like I got to see a lot of amazing artists there, but it was wild. So please paint us
mm.
a picture. Is Montego Bay where you originally are from, or why did you pick
No.
this side?
Yeah, so answer your question. No, I'm from a place called Mandeville in Manchester. That's kind of in the hills, a little bit more rural, and the cool hills of Mandeville is what they say. A little bit more
Mm.
of a suburban feel. But I wasn't from a suburb. Just to be clear, I lived on a hill somewhere. Montego Bay, also known as Mobay, was chosen for multiple reasons. First of all, like you can't beat the beaches in Jamaica. If you go to Montego Bay and Negril, like you probably have the best beaches in the world. And for people who think they've been to good beaches, trust me on this, right? It's some of the best beaches in the world. The other reason is the proximity to the airport, not too far from the airport, which is MBJ, M as in Mary, B as in Brian, J as in Jalarius. So
Mhm.
MBJ. But also the proximity to some of the things that we're going to do. For example, Duns River Falls, going to Negril, the Blue Hole, um, glistening waters. Like so, it was the ideal spot, right? It was either going to be Montego Bay or Negril or as a third Ocho Rios, right? But
Mm.
this I thought was the most convenient and one of the most beautiful places in Jamaica, but the most convenient for attendees. So again, ease of experience was important for me. And the hotel, the resort is just amazing. So like it was like the perfect match.
Like Janine's latest song, Perfect Match. It was nice. I'm happy to hear that. And I think that, yeah, people are gonna get also the nature experience of Jamaica because
Mhm.
sometimes we are very focused on the music and the culture and the parties, but there's so much beautiful, almost untouched nature that is, yeah, I would say like sources of healing. We're
Yes.
hearing it in the music. We're hearing a lot of spiritual artists talking about the land of Jamaica, and it's gonna be beautiful to get to see that as well.
Yeah, I'll apologize in advance. 3 days is not enough, right? But we have such a rich history, and a lot of it is um, somewhat similar to some of my African friends, like the history they have, the history of slavery and the history of, um, music as a means of therapy and as a means of escape through the times of oppression. And that is really embedded in the way we dance, our music, and all of that stuff, and how we want to feel. So that for me is as important as the dance piece, right? And I will try my best um, to really infuse that throughout and to spoiler alert, there will be a Jamaica day at the event, right? I don't want to give too much of the programming, but you don't want to miss it, right? Because for me, it would be a travesty to have an event in Jamaica and not take advantage of the rich culture and not have people leave so much more educated about my home.
Yeah, I love
I will
that.
not do it
Like,
justice. I apologize in advance, but I'll try my very best.
no, but people come back, right? That's the
They
whole
will.
blessing of
They
going to
will.
Jamaica. You will always come back, and I'm looking forward to going back a fourth time and have a completely different experience because every time I go, it's been very different, and yeah, I just looking forward to be there, to be in the Irie vibes, and to share that with everyone. So yeah, I feel like. Is there anything else that you kind of want to say to the people who are maybe thinking about
Yeah.
going? And we're gonna obviously link it down below, but is there something you wanna kind of shout out for the people who are like, oh, this could be the trip for me? I know that there is it's a little bit less than a year to go, but it is a good time
Mhm.
to start to think about it. So is there anything you want to share with the people then?
Yeah, yeah. Look, ease of experience is important for me, and that even goes with planning, right? And so one of the things that we do is we make it easy for people to do this, right? So you can literally pay for this if you did it this month in 8 installments. Like if you do it next month, 7 monthly installments, then the following month, 6 monthly installments. And really, you may be like, well, what does that mean? Like, I like to say it's literally two hamburgers and a soda a week. If you can give that up, you can be at the Kizomba Experience in Jamaica, right? It's not as expensive. When people have to pay it all at once, they're like, oh, that's a lot at once, or it seems like a lot at once. We recognize that. So literally, we have an automated system where you literally can pay monthly to be at this. It will be if you're somebody who enjoys dance, if you're somebody who enjoys fellowship, if you're somebody who enjoys vacationing in a really dope place, you don't want to miss this. This is not compared to any other. It's not a festival. It's an experience. It's not compared to anything else. It has its own unique flavor. Put it on your calendar. And if you don't believe me, talk to the people who have been there before. Don't take my word for it. I don't want to call my own baby pretty. Talk to somebody else. Look at the testimonials, right? So, and if you have questions, reach out to me. Jay Larious. Just reach out to me. I'll answer all of your questions, and I'll take any feedback you have for me as well. So don't wait. Like the longer you wait, the prices go up the first of every month. So the sooner you act, the better it is. The other thing I want to say to folks, ratio is important for me. I aim for a 60-40 ratio, and one may argue why not 50-50. We could argue that, but I'm going to be transparent and I say I aim for a 60-40 ratio and I supplement with taxi dancers. Okay.
Mm.
I supplement with taxi dancers, incredible taxi dancers. And this year, I'm trying to have 10 taxi dancers. We'll have a whole taxi team that's a Kizomba Experience taxi team. So if that's something you're interested in, let's have a conversation as well. But we'll have 10 taxi dancers. And the last thing is we keep this event small. We will cap this event at around 250 this year.
Mm.
Traditionally, we've been at around 180, 200. We're going to be at about 250 because the family feel is important for us, right? So this is not going to be a 2,000 person festival. It's going to be a 250 person vacay and kids experience, right? So
Mm.
yeah, any questions, let me know, but don't hesitate.
Yeah, no, I love that. I've always preferred smaller events because if you find someone you really have a good vibe with, you want to dance with them again. And in these huge festivals, you see one person, you might never see them again for 3 days. So this is really the size of a festival where you can make real connections and where participants, teachers, and DJs will be hanging with each other because it's small enough. So yeah, definitely go in, check it out. We'll link everything in the description below. And as an ending, we always play Move That Soul. So I have one question, and this is how it looks like. It's Move That
Uh-oh.
Soul. It's a question card game that I created for dancers, by dancers, and it has one side with movement cards. So if you and I would be playing the movement part, you would maybe get a card which says "Move like water." You get to freestyle to it, but I pick the song, and then the other way around.
Well, well, before you go there, I gotta tell you, I want to play that at some point, and if you don't have this in there, you should put it in there. I gotta give a shout out to Quinn, right? Because she's challenging me to do her twerk class.
Oh,
So, so I think I'm gonna have to like do like health insurance, like up my health insurance. But shout out to Quinn. How you doing, Quinn out of Thailand? She's challenging me to do her twerk class. So if that's not one of the cards, I'm suggesting that for the next evolution of it,
oh
twerk like
yeah.
Quinn,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not ready yet. But I promise her I'll do that over the next few years, right? So sorry for the interjection, but I thought I'd give a shout out to Quinn and get
Hey,
her out there.
absolutely. I do have a card in here which says, bring out your inner fierceness. And I think you could do that with them hips that you just talked about. So,
Oh Lord.
but anyway, we're going to do the other part, which is the asking part. I have done 70 questions for dancers about their dance journey, about themselves. And I've picked out one here for you. And I
Uh-oh.
want you to answer me. What makes you stop and watch someone dancing? What makes you stop
Oof.
and watch someone dance?
Man, I'm all about shouting people out, but I'll tell you, Lado, Lado makes me stop and watch. I hope he doesn't think I'm crazy talking about like this. But when I started dancing, man, I'm like, wow, the guy moves like so smooth, right? But so Lado is one who sometimes I'm watching and I'm taking mental notes and I'm like, I know I could never do that, but certainly gonna try. So Lado, big up my brother. Like you do make me stop. But really it's the connection. When I see two people moving as one, for me, it's just so whoever the couple is, like so many great couples out there. But when I can feel the chemistry, I can feel the vibe. That really makes me stop and watch, and it's more in awe and admiration as to how they're delivering their art. It's sexy, but not necessarily in a sexual way. It's art. It's just so beautiful, and that will make me watch and stare. And sometimes it's distracting to my follow because because I'm a little bit distracted watching the couple beside me just in the zone, and I need to focus. But that's the type of stuff that seeing chemistry between two people, or seeing Ludo dance with anybody makes me stop and watch. Yeah,
Wow, I literally just posted my first ever dance with Lado last week, and he was here
really.
in
Yeah,
Kiss meetup. So that's funny you mentioned him because I have seen him throughout the years, but never had the chance to dance with him. And I tell you, it's giving Papa Bear energy, okay? And he has
yeah.
such a gentleness to him. So
Yes.
yeah, I just posted a video with him, and I agree. I agree.
I probably never danced with him, but I'll continue to watch and stop. Yeah.
Yeah, so nice. And I usually get a question from my co-host Sebastian, but I'm gonna ask myself a question just so you get to know me better as well. And the
Hmm.
question is, in which situations do you think I dance most honestly? And in this
Mm.
case, you haven't seen me dance so much yet, but I can answer for myself. And I think that I danced most honestly when I have the freedom of not having borders. And with that, I mean, I've been a very dedicated hip hop dancer, dedicated dancehall dancer, dedicated Kizomba dancer. And I feel like I've come to a point now where when I get to dance freely without having to box myself in to only dancing a certain style, a certain steps to the music, but where I'm free to choose from all the puzzle pieces, that is when I dance most honestly, because then I dance all of myself and not just one part.
So is that a teaser to say that at the Kizomba Experience? I mean, we're in Jamaica. You've trained in dancehall. I mean, I guess we kind of can just know what the class is gonna feel like.
Yeah, so when you asked me to be a part of this edition, it was hard for me to hide my excitement because it's going to be the first time ever that I get to fully embrace both of my biggest dance passions in life, dancehall and kizomba. And I always give a little bit of dancehall flavor when I can into my kizomba, but this was the best possible opportunity that I could have ever gotten to actually fuse my worlds. And I am so excited, not just to teach the ladies. I have already ideas of the fusion, and for me, the energy of Jamaican females and Jamaican men that have inspired me for decades by now. I want to bring that into Kizomba. And again, the strength, the unapologetic being yourself, that is something that we can all learn from, and especially women, but also men. Um, to be ourselves, to stand up for who we are, to be unique, and to not try to look like anyone else. And when it comes to the couple classes, I am just ready to bring that Irie vibe and bring in the steps, the grooves, the flavors that we love so much from Jamaica into Kizomba. The freedom of Kizomba is that you can mix and blend so much because the music allows us to be creative. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So
Yeah.
it is definitely gonna be something very special cooking. Definitely.
Yeah. Look, I can't wait either. And the purists and the pundits would say, no, no, you can't mix anything into Kizomba. We can have that argument offline because I'm not interested in that. Our event is about oneness. Our event is about fusion. Our event is about we're gonna take the extreme of Kizomba and Semba and really recognize and respect the culture. We're gonna take Compo. We're gonna respect the culture. We're gonna do urban, but we're also gonna fuse because we want to feel and we're gonna express ourselves. So if you're a super purist with strict lines, it's probably not the best event for you because we're gonna go there and we're gonna be showing love and we're gonna be fusing and we're gonna be having a blast, right? So I can't wait to see your creativity shine through. And look, make sure I'm not too busy because I also want to do your classes.
Yay! Bring it in, bring it in. I will honor your Jamaican roots in the best possible way I can. And
Look,
yeah, I'm excited.
I directed to say one more thing because again, I like to shout people out. But DNL Beats, right, who have been like one of the favorites, the fan favorites at the event. I did tell Danny, who is sometimes Mr. Shy with dancing, that he has to do a dance hall class, and I will record him doing a demo. So what he said in return is he's going to start training now. So you're right there in Holland with Danny. So whenever you see him, just in case he doesn't watch this, let him know I said this because for all the
Uh,
DNL Beats fans, can you imagine Danny doing some dancehall moves? You will see it.
Hey, I don't shoot the messenger, but I will definitely tell him. And I am one of the people that are forcing Danny to dance every time I see him. So we like DJs that are forced to the dance floor, and I will continue my mission to keep that going. So shout
he's,
out
he's a
to
good dude. He's
DNL
gonna kill me.
Beat. Yeah, China, shout out, shout out. They are so good, and I feel so proud to represent the Netherlands together with them. So awesome. Hey, people, don't sleep on this event. I am telling you, I've never been so excited. It's going to be a once in a lifetime experience, hopefully not the last one. So get your savings in order, get this ticket, and yeah, you can just skip the rest. Just go to this one. Treat yourself. Treat yourself. One
Beat
love.
yourself.
Thank you, Jay Larious. If people want to reach out to you, we know that the Kizomba Experience have its own page, but if people want to reach out to you, where do they find you?
Yeah, Jay Larious. Simple. On Facebook, I'm on Instagram. Send me a message. Easiest way is through the page and like the page. Send me a message there. I'll respond very quickly. And if you know me personally, like just reach out. Like I think I'm pretty easy to reach. So if you have specific questions, let me know. And I'll do my best to give you the best response I can.
Yes, and also follow Jay Larious on SoundCloud. I am one of the followers, and there are music out there that are free and up to listen to. So, hey, support your DJs because the DJs are the ones that makes us dance. Cannot shout out enough how much the DJs are the pillar of our community. So go out there, show your support, follow, like, subscribe, all of it. And we see you in the next
Thank you.
episode, or we see each other in Jamaica.
Kizomba Experience. Don't miss it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Don't forget to click subscribe, comment below, and give us a rating or review. We have a Facebook page, YouTube page, and we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and all the other podcast platforms. We also have an Instagram, so don't forget to tag us in your favorite episode and share it with the world because we read all of it.